Okay, because now women are achieving some economic independence, they're no longer having to be stuck in dissatisfied marriages. So the divorce rate can increase because I have more opportunities, I have more options now. And that's, I don't have to be stuck in a marriage that I don't like. So I'm given a fair bit of freedom that I didn't have before, not only just economically, but also socially. Okay, so what happens now then is work is still in the process of being transformed. Okay, and the inefficiency that it engendered explains the upsurge of fundamentalist religions. Things are all kind of topsy-turvy now. You know, dogs are living with cats, and so everybody's kind of wondering what's kind of going on here. So we have drug problems. We got gays coming out of the closet. We have women burning their bras. We have women getting divorced. Okay, men don't get it. You know, society's changing. What's happening? Okay, so in situations like this, okay, what we find oftentimes, especially under financial pressure, people look desperately to God instead of the friendly neighborhood banker, okay, or their friends at Chase Manhattan. And in a sense, I know Obama once made a comment saying that, you know, under times of strife, people kind of rely or go back to their guns and God. And he was highly criticized for that at the time. And maybe politically that was a misstatement, but there's probably some truth to this, okay? And so we see that things like the moral majority start rising up, okay? The moral majority, people like Jerry Falwell, these people still kind of exist. And they're basically offering alternatives or explanations or solstice when society is disintegrating around you, okay? They offer explanations. We're turning away from God, okay? We're turning away from spirituality. We're becoming more, financially concerned. We're worried more about money. Oddly enough, because the thing is, the turnaround on this is that these people were probably chasing as much money as anybody else, okay? And so we see people like Jerry Falwell saying, wealth is God's way of rewarding those who put Him first. Or to put Jesus first in your stewardships allows Him to bless you financially. So we see all kinds of crazy things kind of going on here with new religions and new cults. And at the same time, too, a lot of these Protestant, more mainstream kind of Protestant denominations, especially the television evangelicals, we're also becoming rather money hungry themselves. God wants you to be rich, okay? And you see this even to this day. You can turn on television programs, especially like late at night or on Sunday mornings, and you'll see people like Jerry Falwell and any other kinds of I guess, wannabes doing the same kind of thing. Okay. And also at the same time, these new religions are an attempt to kind of bring magic to make money for a person to become more marketable. This is Malinowski. I think, Malinowski's point number 3. Okay, talking about magic in the Trobriand Islands, okay, in coral gardens. So, magic is there to kind of handle and take care of uncertainty. So you go and do magic rites when you're going off and do the cooler ring. You're going off and traveling 300-400 miles out in the ocean on an outrigger canoe with no maps, no GPS. Yeah, you're going to need a little bit of magic, just be on the safe side. So we start seeing the same kind of things taking place here. New religions are an attempt to use magic to make the money. To make you more marketable, okay, to make you part of the new system, make you part of the change that's taking place now. So we start seeing cults arising, because these different things that we find out there are offering different kinds of alternatives, different kinds of magic, if you will, to put it in Malinowskian terms. Okay. So again, this hyper-industrialization and the conglomeration of the worlds and the result of companies trying to cut costs has led to more monopolies and more oligarchic, mega corporations. And we saw back in the beginning a little while ago, okay? So thus increasing disservice from low employee morale to bone cost-cutting measures. More of this is to be expected. So we start seeing the whole thing repeats over and over and over again. And to us, I think a large degree, the predictions that Marvin Harris has made about this thing being repeated over and over and over again, I think to some degree has come to fruition, has come true. So we start seeing the corporations now, the monopoly corporations now, are much more oligarchic, much more monopolistic than they were before. If you go back and look at the banks being too big to fail back in 2007, well, those banks are really now too big to fail. I mean, we kind of propped them up before, but now, yes, some got weaned out, but there's been a lot of, again, amalgamation, and so there's only like 3 or 4 major banks now anymore, and these ones basically do control of the vast majority of the economy, and they cannot fail. We cannot let them fail. So, and the same kind of thing too. I mean, look, how many cable companies there were, or how many phone companies there were. Okay, and you know, how many internet providers did we have before? So all these things are becoming, more and more kind of, I guess, centralized. In a sense, that Monopoly game, that we play as kids, or used to play as kids, where you're kind of going around, go and stuff like that, collecting some money and trying to get a Monopoly and be the last man or last woman standing. In a sense, that's kind of an interesting kind of, I think, very simplistic, but nonetheless fairly accurate simulation of capitalism. And so when he says, rinse and repeat, basically in a lot of ways, I think, Marvin Harris is kind of onto something, because things are becoming much more monopolistic than they were before. Okay, so Harris also has at least the semblance of a possible solution. Okay, he says that a radical decentralization of the economy is the only hope for saving the ship of state. That if we let the monopolies kind of run wild and unfettered, that basically what's going to happen is just like a Monopoly game, one guy's going to get it all, okay, and the game's finished. And so he said, what we have to do is stop the game. We have to change who's getting so much money as the kind of pass go. We have to make sure that not everybody has all the red properties or all the blue properties and so on. We have to decentralize all that, okay? And so basically he said what we can maybe do is find systems or find ways of encouraging the development of small or semi-private enterprises manned by hard-driving, efficient, profit-sharing work teams and producing enough surplus to pay for first-class educational community service, as well as compassionate care for the sick and the elderly. That sounds like Bernie Sanders, doesn't it? Okay, but it actually comes from a book called Small and Beautiful Economics as People Matter. Okay. And so, in conclusion, that's basically Marvin Harris's view of culture, kind of in a nutshell. And at this point, I'd make some remarks about it, rhetorical questions and so on. And probably you would have a lot to say, because I mean the issues that he brought up here, every one of those points that he suggested, probably are things we could talk about in debate. Some a bit more debatable than others. But that's kind of his impression about what's kind of going on in America. It's a fun book. It's a short book for the most part, and you probably can get I know you can get them very cheaply on Amazon. So if you're looking for something to do while you're hunkered down in isolation, and you want to read an interesting book besides the kind of other stuff I'm going to be sending you, I would recommend that if you have a kind of inkling of this kind of thing, you might take a look at it. You probably would enjoy it. Okay, so I guess this is it for tonight. We'll still have some more videos and things kind of coming down the tubes. In the meantime, be on the alert for another newsletter coming out there and assignments to be worked on. Hopefully you guys will start sending in the assignments that I gave you in newsletter 8 before spring break and all this kind of happened. I'm still only seeing the trickling of some stuff in. So please go ahead and do this now. Obviously it's going to be different because we have to send everything in by email at this point. Well, before we wanted things, if possible in hard copy, but that requirement now obviously is eliminated because you can't be here to turn them in. So do send those things into us by email. And so send them both into Gwen and to me. Gwendolyn is handling all the bookkeeping aspects of things, so she'll be the one that'll be handling that. So do make sure you CC her when you send stuff to me. Other stuff, I guess, will be coming in the newsletter, and so we'll have more to say about that later. And so in the meantime, hope everybody stays safe. And again, I apologize for this kind of off-the-cuff kind of way of handling this. Obviously, this is not a polished performance. There's no cuts, there's no editing. I don't even have an assistant, as you can tell. It's just me and my kitchen timer here. And so obviously, it's a bit on the rough side. So I'm sorry, but I had to kind of get this done really quickly because they're closing access to campus, and so I wanted to make sure these got this out. So I gave you something for this coming week. So again, I apologize for the rapidity of my speech and also the kind of, I think, roughness of what I was showing you here. But we'll try and maybe make the next production a little bit more smooth and a little bit more easier for you. Again, keep those cards and letters coming. Any questions, you're certainly welcome to email me. Those things you carry in your pocket that you're always looking at, I hear that if you press numbers on them, you can talk to somebody if you want to. And it does work, because I do it on mine. So if you want to hear my voice for whatever reason, either have a complaint or you just want to say hi, you're certainly welcome to call me too if there's something on your mind or whatever, or any issues. I guess I'll set you at ease at this point too. I know probably a lot of you are worried about grades and all kinds of things like that, and tests and midterms and whatever. And I got to be honest with you right now, we haven't really figured this out. We're still trying to get through the first week yet to see what's all going to happen and what kind of thing we're going to have. And I guess I'll familiarize you with that in the newsletter once I kind of figure out what we're going to do. So it's going to be a learning curve for us all. So I ask for your patience and indulgence, but we'll try and do the best we can. Like I said at the beginning of the semester, it's not my job, to keep you from going on with a good grade to another class. This is an elective class. You're taking this because you want to be here. And I want to make sure you're still going to want to take this class, even though I know the challenges now are maybe a bit insurmountable. But hopefully we'll climb the mountain and we'll look over the and see the promised land, and it'll be okay. So in any case, we'll have more to say in the newsletter. Thanks a lot for your patience, and have a good week. So take care.